So I guess this is it. I was going to say this is, Mary Shelley's support team, but I don't know. I feel like at some points there was not a lot of support.
I'm definitely part of Mary Shelley's support team. Are you?
What do you mean by Mary Shelley's support team?
Is Percy Shelley part of Mary Shelley's support team?
Oh yeah, very much, yeah.
And you generally with these, like, I guess biopic type movies, some of these characters are still alive today. You can watch films, you can do some research. So is it a little challenging to play characters from so many years back, or is it maybe more freedom involved because like no one really knows much about these people?
Well, there are definitely some biographies written. I read a biography of Shelley's, and there's a lot of literature written about them. But yeah, no, I mean they're such influential people. I mean the funny thing is like Shelley wasn't famous at the time of by the time of his death. He wasn't famous at the time, but now like he went on to influence people's writing from Tolstoy to Gandhi. So there's so much writing about them now that actually there's a lot of research, but there's the freedom that you haven't got YouTube clips. You can kind of freedom to create your own character.
And I think sometimes with period movies it can feel like there's kind of a barrier between you and it, that you feel kind of removed from it. But because of Haifa's style of directing and also the writing was so good, I never felt, I always felt connected to it. I felt like I could sympathise and empathise with the characters, even though they'd lived like 200 years ago.
Now, reading the story and learning about Mary, anything that particularly stood out about this, about her and her life, that maybe really shocked you?
Everything. I mean, I only knew that about Mary. All I knew is that she'd written Frankenstein, and that she'd kind of birthed the era of Gothicism in literature. I didn't know any of this stuff that happened to her. So I think it's really amazing that it's now kind of been shown in this way through this female lens.
But also, I mean, one of the most shocking things I learned was that she was 16 years old when she ran away with Shelley, and she was 18 years old when she actually wrote Frankenstein. I'm trying to think of the stuff I was writing when I was 18.
I know.
18 years old at school, it was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, to write that at that age and to have that, that insight to come up with that kind of a story is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, well, she'd been through a lot of pain.
Do you think she relates more, the character of Mary relates more to the monster or more to Frankenstein? Where do you think she relates?
I personally think she relates to the monster. That sense of abandonment, having been kind of brought up by something and created by someone, but then kind of feeling slightly abandoned and angry and sad. But a lot of other people think that she's Frankenstein, not the monster.
She created this thing.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So great talking with you guys.